Welcome to Bar 10 Ranch. Today I'm going to be teaching you about electrical. Just the basics, what you need to know. You don't need any special tools, no multimeter, nothing like that. I'm going to be using a flathead screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, maybe a Phillips head screwdriver, wire stripper, and that's it. Hammer. Need a hammer too. But all I'm going to be doing is hunting season's over. I'm cleaning out the shop here, and this freezer came from in the house. My wife used to store her breast milk in it. Both my kids were breastfed, and any extra she had she'd put in that freezer. Well, we're done with that, so moving it out here, and I will use it for something. I think we're we're about to do a butcher of a steer, so I'm going to move the extra meat, all the meat from in here into that little freezer there, and we'll use that meat first, and then once we butcher the steer and put him in here, then we know this first, and then we can use this. But there's no plug for this, so I'm going to be putting a plug in today. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Okay, first off is you go to your electrical box right over here, and I've already taken the plate off of it, the face plate off of it. It was just 4 screws. There's my screwdriver right there, flathead screwdriver and the screws. But you look in here, these two right here are my hot. Don't ever touch that or that. I did not touch them there. It looked like it in the camera, but I didn't. They are connected to your breakers, the back side of your breakers underneath. These screws right here are only hot if this is on. So when this is open, turn everything off. And that just turned my big freezer off. So it will complain at me later, and I just lost lights in here. But here are your lines in. Now, this is just a shop. It doesn't have to be up to code, I don't think. But if it did have to be up to code, these would have to be in conduit of some sort. You can get wire that has conduit on it. But this is just Romex. And you pick a color. Black is what I use for hot, so it'll be on these. And then this right here, this yellow wire that's on that board of screws right there, is your return and your ground. And that wire goes out and is ground at the pole. So what I'm going to do is, I know black is my hot, white is my return. So, and I'm going to leave this open. Now, since I did not turn it off at the pole, those are still hot. If I was to touch those, it'd be one hell of a shock. Possibly death. So I'm not going to turn it off at the pole because my wife and kids are inside, and I believe she's got the little one down for the nap. And if power goes out, for some reason he wakes up. So back over here to the plug. To start out, grab the plug on my freezer, see how high it goes up. I want to give it some room here, so I'm just going to put it right here. It's just a normal plug box receptacle box. And I'm going to put it right here. Plenty of room for that plug to reach. I'm going to put it on its own breaker. That way, I usually have a table saw right next to this freezer. If I need to, I can plug it in and use it. bent on me. Didn't want to go in. That's plenty sturdy for what we're going to be using it for. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Romex here, 12-2 with ground. So I think 12 is the gauge of wire. 2 is your hot and return, and then with ground, so that's your third one. The 2 are the insulated wires there, the white and the black, and then the ground. But anyway, I can take that wire, I'm going to run it up in my rafters, over, across the top of the garage door, down into the box. Okay, so here we are at the box. Got my line right here. I'm going to pull it down through here. And I'm going to put it on one of these right here. These are 210 or 220. These are 110s. So this one I think runs a bunch of receptacles that way. This one right here runs the freezer, the big freezer. So I'm going to make this, I'll probably make this one the little freezer. Bring this down here. Make sure I got enough room. Like that right there. I'm going to take a knife. Split this. Take it right there. Cut it off. Make sure you haven't nicked any of your wires. Cut off this extra paper there. And then I take a wire stripper and strip these wires just, I'd say about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Boom. And actually I have to take one wire and my return wire and put it all the way back over here. So I'm going to have to split this a lot more just for that one wire. So now when you're doing big splits like this, it's better to have a box knife. I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, I got a little part split over here, so I'm just gonna cut it off like this and pull it out. Safer that way. Mail lady's got a new truck. Alright. I dropped my knife. It's no big deal, I won't be needing it. Take the return. Stripped about 1/4 to 1/2 inch there, just enough to get it underneath this block here. Let me do a little bit more closer to 1/2 inch. Alright, now I need my flathead screwdriver, and I'm going to this screw right here. Let me see if I can get you guys closer real quick. this screw right here. I'm gonna back it out. I actually need a little smaller flathead. And then if you see over here, the wire just goes under it and you screw it down. So I'm going to do that on this side right now. Being careful, of course, not to touch these hots right here. Okay, so now I have it finished. Got these two in here. You back those out, stick it in, tighten it down. Same for over here on the end. That screw right there, I just back it out, put this in, and that'll be the hot for the plug. Tighten it down. Now go over to the plug receptacle. Alright, now over here at the plug receptacle, I want to make sure I have plenty to work with here. So that should be enough to go in this box and out. Plenty to work with. And just cut it off. Alright, so I'm back. I need to, first of all, these have little tabs in the back. I'm going to knock out one of the tabs. And actually, if you have needle nose pliers, they help here, but you don't need them. Just take my flathead screwdriver, push it, twist it, boom. Got a little hole back there. Put the wire in, pull it out. Plenty of room. Now, if you remember, right here, let's split this wire a little bit just so we have room to work. Okay, now hooking this up, the way I remember it is black's my hot, white's my return. If you look on the plug, the small one is always going to be your hot. The way I remember it is, this is more dangerous, so they have to make it harder for you to put stuff in it. Or your kids to shove stuff in it. So, I've got, my ground is already on there. Stick this in here. Tighten it down. Make sure it can't come out. Same thing over here. Tight it in, can't come out. Now you're just going to put it up here. Tighten this screw in. Put it up here. Tighten that screw. Now all we have to do, put this face plate on. Now I'm going to go throw the breaker and we're going to check this. 1 second. Okay, so I've got my checker here. It's just a south wire. You just stick it in here. It's got a little cheat sheet down here. And it's got open ground, it'll show this light. Open neutral, just that light. Open hot, none of these will come on. And when it says open, it means that there's a misconnection there. There's no ground, no neutral, or no hot. If you have the hot and the ground reversed, it'll be a light here and a light here. A hot and neutral reverse will be a light here and light here. And then correct wiring, these two lights will be lit up. So let's see what we got. Those two lights are lit up and this one's not, so that one's good. Now let me go over here to one of my other plugs and we will check it real quick. Let's go to this one. This is the most common mistake. These two lights are lit up. That means I have the hot wire over here and the neutral or return wire over here. So I need to flip those wires on this plug. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time on Bartender Ranch.